podcast for a technical delay.
Exactly. Holy smokes. Getting back into a deal here. Conspiracy Theorist 17. Ooh, look at that from Rich. Thank you, Rich. Charlie Bixby said, where did Tucker Carlson's passport taken along with his guest? Well, so Susie Kabluzzi sent me a message, and apparently, yes, Tucker Carlson was detained. They did pull him in for questioning in Israel. So I'm assuming that that's going to kick off a whole bunch of other things, but we'll have to see. Wildlife Fan is here. Hey, Wildlife, glad you can make it. Sue B is here. Wendy J. Holy smokes. Deb S is here. Said, good afternoon, all. Happy Thursday. Yes, it is. Franny Dragonfly. Good morning, Franny. We got our first Trump train from the Don, the third G. Thank you, Don. Brenda's Cups and stuff is here. Lynette Ranley. Holy smokes. The chat's moving so fast, you guys, there's just no way I'm going to be able to say hello to everybody. Negative San Diego. Brian is here. Holy smokes. Everybody is worked up today about this going on. That's for sure. Let's see. As I said, Don, thank you for the first Trump train. Donna Fox. Holy smokes. We are going to be lit up today, I think, guys. There's a heck of a lot going on. Ozzy Crosby's over here on YouTube. My apologies, Ozzy. I forgot to turn on the stream on the other platforms, but we're there now. All right, let's see, Alex. Let's get some indices going here this morning.
Good morning, everybody. On this fine Thursday morning, February 19th, 2026. Markets down this morning. S&P 500 down 29 points to 6,851. The Dow is down 285 points to 49,376. The NASDAQ is down 81 points to 22,672. Looking at the commodities market, oil is up. Crude oil sitting up $1.52 at $66.57 a barrel. Spot price of gold this morning, $5,025. That's up $15.50 since open this morning. Silver is up 47 cents at $78. Looking over at the crypto markets, and my screen just glitched. Insert the Jeopardy theme. Here we go. Sam pushing buttons. Bitcoin currently down 1% at 66,357. XRP is down 4.5% at $1.39. Ethereum down 2.4% at 1,922. Stellar Lumen XLM down 3.5% at 16 cents. Cardano down 3.4 at 27 cents. Not financial advice. This live is for educational and entertainment purposes only, but buy the dip.
Yeah, exactly. Wildlife Fan, Donna Fox, Joe Lynn, Franny Dragonfly, Blue Flames 41, Rich. We got another Trump train. Calvin, thank you, Calvin. Jan Levin being grandma, Kevin Kiesler, holy smokes, Rose and Rose, Charlie, Batten Ballin, everybody, thank you for the gifts. All right, let's see here. Dave, what do we have for a farming and agriculture report, sir?
Pretty quiet across the grain board today. Corn is down 1 to 2. Soybeans are mixed across the board. Wheat is up, only positive thing for the most part. 7 to 10. Cattle is down just under a tenth, and hogs are up just under 0.1%. USDA has released some forecasts on this year's crops. It looks like they're going to be estimating that the farmers are going to be growing more soybeans in 2026 than previous years, and a little bit less corn, but both are 84 million acres of soybeans and 94 million acres of corn. So we'll see how that shakes out and see if the USDA lies again.
Excellent. Thank you, Dave. Melissa Flinner, thank you for the gifts. Hokey Gigi, holy smokes. We've got Earl Shannon said, howdy, 3 cowboys and a city slicker. Exactly. David Morales said, nothing to see here. Move along.
You are fake news.
Exactly. Richard Vicente, Bob S., star 7844. Wow, you guys, everybody's lighting it up today. Benji 1959, Big Ben. Good morning, Ben. Gemma, thank you for all the gifts. Very kind of you. All right, James, what do we have for a military report today?
Oh boy, we have another military report as usual. Thanks for everybody for being here. The United States Navy supercarrier deployment could surpass Cold War records. As of Wednesday, it's been 239 days since current deployment of the USS Gerald R. Ford that began June 24th of last year. As you know, 47 has ordered CVN 78 to the Middle East. CVN 78 had been operating in the Mediterranean, then ordered to the Caribbean to combat drug trafficking and narco terrorists in the region. The trip takes about a week to reach the region, and it could be May before CVN 78 finally returns to her home port in Naval Station Norfolk, Virginia, exceeding 300 days of deployment. That would surpass Vietnam-era Lynx and surpass days at sea of any aircraft carrier deployment since the end of the Cold War. Many Navy sailors sign up to see the world, but few are likely to expect a year at a time being away from home and loved ones. These kind of deployment links take a toll on sailors' morale. The standard deployment is 6 months since the early 90s. Due to regional tensions and a limited number of carriers available, deployments have increased in length. The current post-war record for days at sea is held by the Nimitz-class aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln, or CVN-72, which spent 294 days deployed from April 2019 to January 2020. The Navy now has 44,096 new active duty soldiers and makes them 108.61% recruiting achievement 3 months early.
Over 100% 3 months early.
Yes, and if
Wow.
you think about being away from your family and your home for over a year at a time at sea, that's pretty tough. So I salute those people.
As we
Those
all
men and
do.
women, those men and women deserve our love. That's for sure.
As we all do, James. Great report. Thank you. Kevin Kiesler, Charlie, thank you all for the gifts. Very kind of you. Benji Nightif. Hey, Martin's WB is here. Hey, Martin. Glad you could make it, brother. JP Metal Slayer, Diva 53. Holy smokes, the whole gang's piling in. And it doesn't surprise me with all that's going on. We're going to lead off with the big story. 6 unmarked police cars with plainclothes officers arrived at Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's home on his 66th birthday this morning. Andrew Mountbatten, formerly known as Prince Andrew, has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Holy smokes, you guys. I can see the flames. Forget the smoke. I see the flames. What do you think, Alex?
Well, the arrest stems from allegations that while serving as the UK's special trade envoy, roughly 2001 through 2011, he shared confidential government trade information with all but who? Yes, the man himself that didn't unalive himself, Jeffrey Epstein. This came to light in the newest batch of Epstein files released by the U.S. Department of Justice in early 2026. This is not related to the earlier sexual assault allegations by Virginia Giuffre, which was settled out of court in 2022 with no admission of guilt. This being widely reported as the first arrest of a British royal in modern history.
Wow. James?
It's tough to follow up. That was pretty concise reporting there, Alex. Mountbatten Windsor is mentioned at least several hundred times across emails, logs, and contact lists in the Epstein files. He's the most heavily mentioned Brit, and he also flew 4 times on Epstein's private jet.
Wow. Joe Lynn, Tire Man. Hey, CG is here. Boss Lady, Teresa. Good morning, everybody. I kind of figured we'd have a crowd today with all that's going on. Dave, what do you make of it?
Tip of the iceberg. I mean, what kind of tells you the story of 6 police cars and he's 66? That's 3 sixes. That only means one thing, and we know what that side's all about. Pay attention to Haiti, the Clintons, the Anthony Weiner laptop, all going to be coming out. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, exactly. David Morales said, and David is over in the UK. He said 6 unmarked vehicles arrived at Sandringham in the early AM today. Full search warrants for Sandringham and his private address. So my guess is we're going to probably, and again, I think a lot of this has already happened, and I think, when does a bird sing? In the spring. So is it happening now? It sure looks like it is. Boss Lady said popcorn has never tasted better. Isn't that the truth? Love Nature said, I'm here for all the oligarchs to go down. Exactly. 100%. And it's happening. But, Lisa Maria's here. Good morning, Lisa. So David said, this includes Sarah Ferguson and daughters, Beatrice and Eugene. Holy smokes. Wow. I Speak 1717 said, them damn royal reptiles. Exactly. Well, they're all going down now. They are all
Somebody
going
call David Icke.
Yeah, exactly. Boy, he's been on target for a long time. CG, Magic, Darlene Collins, Blue Flames, thank you all for the gifts. Very kind of you.
What did they do in the old days? Off with their.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that whole thing with the French, the guillotines, that actually started from housewives with knives, from what I understand. That was how that whole thing evolved. You don't want to piss off the wives. They'll take you out. Angry. Yeah, they'll take you right out. All right, let's see. So, next story. Core durable goods orders surged for the 9th straight month, leaving durable goods orders up 12.5% year over year. Dave, what do you make of that?
Well, that's 3 times the amount they were expecting. I believe our economy is sitting on a little bit of a teeter-totter here. We need to get over the hump. We're almost there. Another good sign of tariffs and what President Trump is doing.
Yeah, 100%. James?
The rise in core bookings was widespread, including gains in communications equipment, computers, metals, electronic equipment, and machinery. The measurement of this activity is measured by the U.S. Census Bureau. It was up 0.9% in December, following a 5.4% increase in November.
And Alex, with all of the new foreign money that's coming in, if we've already got durable goods up 12.5% year over year this far in 2025, what do you expect is going to happen when the bulk of that starts to flow in?
I'm really rich.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, everybody, not everybody, the majority of the Squawk Boxes have parroted the conversation over and over and over about tariffs. And then the truth rises just like the sun in the morning, ladies and gentlemen. And what happens when that train leaves the station and we have more money than we need? The government is no longer funded by your tax dollars. We go back to a sound economy that is funded by what? Free markets.
Exactly. Capitalism at its best. Pure blood Holly Johns is here. Good morning, Holly. Sassy Minnesota girl. Melissa Flinner, thank you for all the gifts. So kind of you. All right. So, as I mentioned earlier, Liz Crokin has been screaming about this stuff for years. She has been banned. She has been shadow banned. She's been blackballed in so many different ways. She has come out and said that UN experts say that the Epstein files suggest acts that may meet legal threshold for crimes against humanity must be prosecuted in national and international courts. Now, she posted this yesterday, and then this happens this morning with Andrew. Not coincidental, in my opinion. Just shooting out of the hip here. James, what do you think?
Well, the UN experts report the conduct could amount to slavery, reproductive violence, enforced disappearances, torture, inhumane and degrading treatment, and femicide. This is so grave in nature, systemic character, and transnational these atrocities. The acts could reasonably meet or exceed the threshold against acts against humanity.
Yep, exactly. Dana McKee over on Facebook said sealed indictments. Exactly. Dave?
Well, as we think, we've known this has probably been going on for a little bit. This is the exposure of it, obviously, with the United Nations. coming back into play and taking the lead. Obviously, our military is also part of it and going to be brought out when it needs to be brought out as these are exposed. So exciting to see. I think this is all just tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, and you said David Icke, Alex. David in the chat said, all hail David Icke. Oh, thank you, Chris. Excuse me. I have followed David Icke for years. And I mean, literally going back to, God, I want to say 2006, 2001. I don't remember now. But that guy, everybody thought he was crazy. Now, I don't agree with everything he says, but that guy has highlighted so much over the years. And he's paid a price too. What do you think of that, Alex?
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Exactly.
It's interesting. I've said it in multiple conversations on the show, off the show, with friends and others. If we could have sat down in November, December and said, okay, over the course of January and February, these things are going to happen, we'd have missed the mark. We'd have been way off the mark. Like, we couldn't have imagined, and we're not done yet. Like the first quarter, I think before we get to summer, man, what a freaking fantastic time to be alive.
It truly is. It truly is. Things that for decades people laughed at, scoffed at, made fun of. It's all happening right now. This is certainly historic.
Economy, food, vaccines, tariffs, arrests, the trafficking. Like, what? The age of disclosure? I'm there. Let's go.
Exactly. Towie, thank you for the pump.
And President Trump still has critics. When is he going to do something?
Yeah, exactly. Jesus.
Obama.
Towie, thank you for the pumpkin carriage. Apple user Ted is here, and Michelle H. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. So this next story, James, we're going to go to you first. The Department of War, Department of Defense, Coast Guard is going to reestablish deployable specialized forces under the new Special Missions Command. What does that mean, James?
Well, it's a unit comprised of roughly 2,000 personnel. They provide high-risk, specialized maritime capabilities, including counterterrorism, anti-terrorism, drug and migrant interdiction, and port security. These elite units will operate globally for homeland security and defense, featuring maritime security response teams, tactical law enforcement teams, maritime safety and security teams, national strike force, port security units, and regional dive lockers. 2 years of a training process. 35 to 40% of the candidates do not complete the training, and it's quite similar to BUDS that the Navy SEALs go through.
I knew you'd bring the receipts because I called you out specifically on the dispatch this morning. I wasn't sure what that meant. But Alex, do you think that this partly has to do with these narco-terrorist boats that they've been blowing up for the last, I don't know, however many months?
Oh, 100%. I mean, Trump's said it quite loud and proud.
I don't give a damn.
He's going to do it. He's going to clean it up. He's going to take care of it. It's all freaking going to be handled. The bank accounts, the laundering, the drug money, it's all done. And at the end, he's going to step up on stage.
Thank you very much. That's really nice. Thank you.
Exactly. Dave, what do you think? I mean, it seems to me that they're announcing this now, but I think it's been in play for some time. What do you think?
Well, I think the boats, the drug boats, are just part of it. We've got drones coming over in El Paso. We got multiple things that are happening, and we got to defend it. I think the big thing is we're fighting these smaller forces that could squeak in, and this is just another line in the sand that Trump's implying to stop and slow that down for sure.
Exactly.
I am officially running.
Batten Ballin said, Alex, we all love the soundboard. Yeah, isn't that true? John Gwynn said, it's crazy how many fronts there are to the battlefield we're standing upon. It's so true. You talk about attack vectors. It is multiple attack vectors right now.
Yeah, well, what we're fighting is pure corruption on many fronts. So when you're dealing with that,
bullshit.
You got to have a lot of deals for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Texas Terry just showed up. Hey, Texas, or Terry, I should say. Melissa Flinner said, I'm not happy that my son's girlfriend doesn't want to vaccinate my grandson. Well, I don't think vaccination is a good thing, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. It's not medical advice. But I think if you dig some deep digging, you'll probably come to the same conclusion. Mystery Earth is here. Said, wow, big strategical grid. That's another thing. We've got to watch out for our grid. We are playing with fire with that, in my opinion. Chris is here. Hey, Chris. Glad you could make it. Pureblood Holly John said, elite plus tactical equals awesomeness. Isn't that the truth? Jay Hicks said, maybe 210 trillion in seized assets. Well, again, we go back to the U.S. debt clock. Alex, will you pull that up and tell me what the total hidden assets are up to now? I think you hit the nail.
Yesterday it was, I want to say 271 trillion, something to that. Hold on a second. Where are we at? Total hidden assets, 210. So we have, hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions, billions, trillion. Yeah, 210 trillion.
Wow.
That is the average, what was it? Wealth per citizen is up to $615,000.
Could you imagine if they flipped the switch tomorrow and every one of us got an extra $600,000 in our bank accounts? Holy smokes. Even 100,000. That would change people's lives. That would be awesome. And I don't know if that's going to happen, but I think it's.
What's the pot? Are we at 330 million? Is that right?
What?
300. What's the population of the United States? 330 million?
330. Yeah.
Okay. All right. 330 million times 100,000. Oh, that's a million. We don't want that. Clear. It would. I'm just trying to figure for $100,000 to every. So that's 33. That's less than our national debt. We could do that.
Yeah, exactly. I speak 17.
National debt's currently sitting at 38 trillion.
I speak 1717 said 13848, and what he's referring to are the executive orders 13848 and 13818. Essentially, what they call out is on one of them, if anybody is involved with human trafficking or anything like that, they lose all of their assets. The second one is election interference. If they are involved in election interference, they lose their assets. I would venture a guess to say that most of the large corporations in America have fallen under those two executive orders. What does that mean? That means that if they lose their assets, that means they're gone, that they have been taken from them.
They've added a new so when you hover, if you go to usdebtclock.org, when you hover over each of the categories, it gives you a summation, and they've added total hidden wealth. National assets include precious metal reserves, audit Fort Knox, mineral reserves, Greenland, Alaska, Anwar, real estate, land value, stock market, the value of the worth. And then they've added new energy and recaptured assets. And if we start capitalizing on all of those things, which we're doing, right? 38 trillion is the national debt, but there's 210 in hidden wealth. What does that do to our current situation?
Right, exactly. Hey, everybody over on Facebook, X, YouTube, and Rumble, I'm having some issues. It keeps going away, and thank you, Charlie. Nice bear. It keeps Restream keeps shutting down and then coming back on, so that's why you're seeing the problem with the video over there. I think, as we know, Restream's been having some issues, but that's what's going on. Just so you know what's happening. Mama Soprano's here. Hey, Mama, haven't seen you in a while. Glad you could make it. Squiggly 77 is here. Let's see. Patrick said, which executive orders are illegal of Trump's? Well, if you read the Constitution and you go to Article 2 essentially gives him unlimited power when it comes to national security. Now, whether he's utilizing that, whether the Insurrection Act has been implemented already and we're just not aware of it, I couldn't tell you. I think it's both, personally. But that's how he would do it. And they are not illegal. Uh-oh, Oh, there we go. I had a bat and ball, and thank you for the chatting popcorn. All of a sudden, my screen glitched on TikTok, and I'm like, holy smokes, now TikTok's doing it too? All right, let's see here. So, Apple user said, I certainly like the recaptured assets. Exactly. And I have to believe, as I'm sure most of us in this audience, there is a plan. And that plan is getting rolled out slowly. It has been thought out probably for decades. I would venture a guess to say that this started around, Wildlife Fund. Thank you for the manifesting. I would venture a guess to say that this probably started at or soon after JFK was taken out. The Patriots got together, and because that, what would you call it, that Herculean, nefarious entities have been at the root of so many different processes here in America, it takes time to put together a plan to get that Hydra out. And I think that's what we're seeing roll out now at a very slow rate so people can understand it and assimilate it. Dana McKee said, no yellow fringe on the flags driving the Board of Peace announcement. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. Maritime law versus common law. I believe we're moving back to common law. And as we see that happen, there's going to be a lot of things happening that a lot of the normies are going to be shocked by. I mean, shocked to the core. That's all right. They need to wake up anyway. All right, let's do a sponsor break here. So MyPillow, Mike Lindell. If you need something that Mike offers, whether it's at mystore.com or mypillow.com, give him the business. He's earned it. He's running for the governor of Minnesota. Exactly. There we go, Dave. Go buy a pillow from Mike Lindell. Use the code SAM. Secondly, Neil Naturopathic. Dr. Neil will be joining us tomorrow for our health and wellness segment. If you are looking for toxin-free, chemical-free hair care products, go to my website, samshalhoub.com. Click on Neil Naturopathic's button, use the code SAM20, SAM20, and you'll get a 20% discount. And of course, Dr. Peter Glidden, who will be joining us as always on Friday tomorrow, he has put together a website where you could ask him virtually any question on health and wellness. If you go to my website, click on Dr. Glidden's button, use the code SAM, you'll get a 30% discount. And he is going to be raising his prices here soon, so you might want to jump on that as soon as possible. And of course, Best Line Racing, engine and oil additive par excellence. Go to my website, click on the Best Line Racing button, use the code SAM for your discount. Alex, what about what we all need right now? Some meditation.
Daily meditation, folks. If you don't and you want to learn how, I have written a guide, step by step, walks you through a meditation that I found works very well for me. 20 minutes a day. It's Prime Light Meditation. The link, if you are on TikTok, if you just click on my name right there, and in the bio, there is a link. Otherwise, you can search Alex Raymer on Amazon and find the book. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Alex. So we have a lot of new people in here today. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you personally, but time doesn't allow for that. Thank you for following. Thank you for being part of this community. And if you are on this show right now, please share this live out. Let's just pump as many people in. Let's get the truth out far and wide. Thank you, everyone.
For education and entertainment purposes only.
Exactly. And everybody in the chat putting FYF, putting in for entertainment and education purposes only. Thank you. All right. XRP Mama's got FYF in the chat. I like that.
Chris Stewart says the truth. You are all covering up for the. I would like for you to bring receipts as to how I'm covering that up.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and we don't know how many of these are bots. We don't know, but when you have this many people on a show, you're going to get people, and it's okay to disagree with us. But if you're going to accuse something, bring the receipts, like Alex said. Otherwise, move along. All right, let's move out. Let's move out. Let's move in. Let's.
Someone has asked a couple of times for me to explain wealth per citizen on the debt clock. What wealth per citizen is the total hidden assets divided by the number of citizens in the country.
Excellent. Thank you, Alex. Conspiracy Theorist 17 said, boom shakalaka. Isn't that the truth? We might as well all stand up and dance. I'm telling you, there's a lot of good things happening right now. Oh, everybody in the JP Metal Slayer, thank you for the FYF. Lynn Craft, thank you for the FYF. Holy smokes. That's really weird. Cameo Crazy said, I'm not a bot, even though I have 2 fake knees, but I love you guys. I'm not saying everybody's a bot, but I'm glad you're here with us. Thanks for being part.
We love the bots.
Yeah.
Bots are great.
Scott Ragosa said, so it's minerals, not money. Well, I think it's a combination of things. I think it's probably minerals. It's probably precious metals. It's probably stock market. How much of
it is? National assets include precious metal reserves, which would be Fort Knox and others, mineral reserves, which I brought up, we're doing deals in Greenland and the Anwar Providence, and the other things going on, land value. I mean, look at the federal government's not supposed to own land, but look at how much land BLM owns in the United States. Stock market worth. What is the stock market worth? And new energy. They, like I said, they added new energy and recaptured assets.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the numbers are staggering, you guys. Staggering. Think of it this way. If the majority of our taxes have essentially been stolen since oh, nice chain. Thanks, Benton Ballin. If the majority of our taxes have been illegal, and I'm not going to get into the whole sovereign citizen thing, but think of it this way. For decades, at least some percentage of our taxes have been taken illegitimately. If you multiply that times how many years? 100 years? 1913 is when it began. We're talking about serious money. We're talking about world-changing money. The amounts of money that we're talking about, the debt clock has a really good breakdown. Alex, what is the actual URL for that? Is it just debtclock.com?
It's usdebtclock.org. And Sam, you bring up a good point. 113 years of us giving control of our monetary system to a privately held bank. The Federal Reserve Bank, named Federal Reserve Bank, is not federal at all. Yes, it does have some board of directors and some oversight, but it is a network of banks across the world, and they have. So if you go back to 2008, 2009, housing crisis happened. I was in the data center business, and we hooked up with a real estate mogul in Kansas City who actually bought the old Federal Reserve Bank. And I have to tell you, we were going to convert that into basically a DR facility. There's tens of thousands of gallons of water and diesel fuel on site, secure vaults underground. It was amazing. And so to be able to walk those halls and be inside one of those buildings in a very intimate way, so much so that we had radios on top of the building to provide internet wirelessly to our customers around the city. So I knew the inside and the outside of that building. You wouldn't believe some of the things that I found. But the boardroom, okay, on the top floor, and you have to understand, when people go to work at the Federal Reserve Bank, you walk through those gates, you do not leave. Childcare's on site, cafeteria's on site, gymnasium's on site. You walk in, you don't leave, right? And the boardroom, so strange. And I'll stop with this. The boardroom had a horseshoe-shaped table inside of the boardroom that was, I think it was like 50 feet long in a horseshoe shape. Now from end to end, so that's over 100 feet, right? Chairs all the way around it. But what was weird was in the back of the boardroom, behind a false wall and a one-way piece of glass, was another small room. What are they doing in there? What are they recording? What are they like? And when you're in that room, you have to think presidents have been there. Like the conversations that have gone on inside of that boardroom, it was a very intimate look. But at the same time, you look at the nefarious side of that and the backside of it, like the control of the monetary system and the lavish amount. Trump's highlighting this, right? He's talking about the new building that they're building for why am I blanking? Anyway, way over budget on the building. But if you go in
Federal
and you
Reserve
see these
Bank.
Federal Reserve Bank, right? So you go in and you see what they did in this building that was built in, like, I think 1912 was when that one was built. I mean, the gold leaf, the inlay, the marble staircases, the vault doors were actually lowered through the alley into the basement before they built the building on top, because it's several £100,000. Just the amount of money that went into this building, and imagine what's going into their buildings now. I mean, they're burning through money because they're the ones creating it. My point, once we move away from them being in control and the populace sees that we have been enslaved to a debt system for over 113 years, when really all we had to do was reopen the tariff floodgates and let free market work like it's supposed to, when he says we're headed into the golden age, man, I don't think, again, that we can even fathom what that's going to look like.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. 100%. Don, thank you for the teddy bear. Lace and Steel is here. Good morning, Lace. Haven't seen you in a couple days. Glad you could make it. Chris, thank you for the gifts as well. All right, let's see here. Let's move on. Dave over at the X22 report posted something yesterday I thought was very interesting. He said that Russia has offered the United States $12 trillion in deals in exchange for dropping the sanctions. Now, we're already at $20-30 trillion in foreign investment, and now Russia's coming in and saying, we'll give you another 12 trillion. I mean, these numbers are so staggering. I think it speaks to what Alex is talking about. The kind of money we're talking about here is world changing. James, what do you make of it?
Well, you have to remember, with this 12 trillion, there's no agreement on territory or security guarantees. And I think that they have the eye on Greenland, and I think they have the eye on Antarctica as part of that. The deal is closer to 14 trillion, according to the Kiev Independent. Part of this would give the United States stakes in Russia Energy, which that is attractive given the data center energy consumption that's about to take place. Rare earth minerals are also part of the trade deal. Ending the tariffs could mean U.S. businesses would no longer eat $300 billion in added tariff costs.
Yep, exactly. Dave?
It says here that the proposal aims to remove the U.S. sanctions, claiming that the sanctions on Russia cost U.S. businesses over $300 billion a year. But the big thing, like James just said, on mining and gas, oil, Arctic oils, it sounds like an unbelievable deal, and the tariffs are working.
Yeah, 100%. Wendy J., thank you for all the gifts. Grows and Rose, thank you. Towie Bixby, thank you. Lace and Steel posted something I thought was very okay. Here it is. Lace and Steel said, we're digging gold. Got a nice 20 grams. Now, Lace and Steel, she's doing, their family or whoever it is there are mining gold. And I'm so glad to see you got 20 grams. That's phenomenal, Lace. That's fantastic. Good job. Keep it up. Mystery Earth is here. Hey, Mystery Cindy Lou, thank you for the gifts. All right, let's move on. Oh, actually, did I miss you, Alex? Sorry.
You did, but it's okay. Let's move on.
Okay, Dave, did I get you?
Yes.
Okay. Geez, I'm just losing track here. All right. So, the Oklahoma governor declared a state of emergency as fast-moving wildfires scorched the panhandle. Now, these winds have been significant here in LA, in Texas, in Florida. Palm Springs, I saw some video this morning. There's a lot of palm trees in Palm Springs. They are bending at like 30 degrees. It's crazy that they're not snapping. Now, what have you heard about this, Dave? Do you have any info?
We've had multiple winds here in Iowa, and I think James said they had some massive winds up there. Sounds like it's all the way across the United States, but this is upwards of 300,000 acres from the northern part of the state all the way to the Panhandle. So it's scary stuff. Multiple farmers rescuing cattle and all cost stuff across that. So it's just that time of year, and it's dry. It's dry here. James has had a little bit more moisture in the north, but it's dry. It's our driest probably January, February, March, soon to be March timeline that we're going into here. So
yeah, James, what do you know?
The fires began in Woodward, Beaver, and Texas counties. The Woodward fire is about 20% contained, and they've lost a few homes and injured 4 firefighters. In Beaver County, the town of Tyrone was evacuated as a precaution. I have no info on Texas County. Every Oklahoman is urged to take fire warnings seriously.
Yeah, exactly. Alex, have you heard anything? What's going on in Kansas?
Well, it's in the southwest corner of Kansas, which is right above the Oklahoma-Texas panhandle, and you've got fires. I'm looking at the fire map, and there's tens of thousands of acres that are currently burning in the panhandle of Oklahoma, and you also have fires that are burning, starting to burn in the Texas panhandle. And I don't know if everybody remembers a few years ago, the northern portions of Amarillo were actually threatened by pretty severe raging fires. When the wind kicks up, it doesn't take much. Like I said yesterday, some dipshit throwing his cigarette out the window going down the highway is enough. Think about Boy Scouts. You take a little spark and you start blowing on it, and poof, all of a sudden you've got a raging fire. It's scary. It's devastating. And when the winds are going like that, they were showing Reed Timmer, who runs the tornado chasing outfit, was actually over in Kansas and was showing some of the fire tornadoes that were happening. And once you get those things going, there's no putting them out. The Mother Nature's going to run her course, and there is no putting it out.
Yeah,
it's scary.
Exactly. Wendy J, thank you for all the gifts. So kind of you. Oh, nice lights from Franny. Thank you, Franny. XRP Mama, thank you for all the gifts. Cindy Lou, wildlife fan, bat and ballin'. Holy smokes, you guys are lighting us up today. Thank you, thank you. All right, moving on. So LT over at And We Know, who I have followed, as well as Dave over at X22 for years, posted this yesterday. He said a new federal transparency system is now live. Every government dollar is being tracked in real time. AI flags questionable spending. Officials must justify expenses. Unexplained funds trigger review. No more blank checks. Now, you guys remember when we had Herb Morgan on the show and he was showing us his accounting software for his campaign? I wonder if this is something similar to that. Dave, James, what do you think?
A nonprofit watchdog group called Open the Books launched an AI-powered platform to track federal, state, and local taxpayer spending, allowing better oversight on government checkbooks and vendor payments. This tool is named Benjamin. It analyzes 25 million public employees' salaries and pensions records and tracks specific expenditures. I think this is probably one of many that you're going to see. And, if they can put AI to work and monetize it for profit, I think that you're going to see some for-profit people come out. Tracking every dollar that's spent in the country, that's a big task. But having AI in your backfield to help you it's imperative.
And when you combine that with Doge and everything they're doing there, Dave, what do you think?
Well, they work for us. This is our money. This is the American people's money, and we should know exactly where every penny goes and be more transparent across the board. Because when you don't have that, fraud happens, and look what's happened the last 50 years or longer in the United States.
Exactly. Alex?
Well, this is nothing new, right? You can go to usaspending.gov. And you can see the trillions of dollars that has been accounted for. And again, this all feeds into the the system, right? We are creating the money so that we can delve out the money to those we deem worthy, and then we're going to come back around to the people in the backs of hardworking Americans that are out there putting in the time and labor to pay for our little, $22 million yacht over in Kiev, Ukraine. Like the insanity of this is really starting to come to the surface for a lot of people because the receipts are being published so that they can make up their own mind.
Right, exactly. Going back to the last story, Me says, I live in Oklahoma and they evacuated part of Woodward. Sergio's Queen said, I'm from Woodward, Oklahoma. All these firefighters were amazing. Excellent, excellent news. I mean, not the fires, but that you have such good people on that. Layson Steel just reached level 32. Holy smokes. Pump the brakes there, Layson Steel. Thank you, thank you. Batten Ballin said transparency. Yes. 100%.
Well, we've all known about the old government saying spending $600 hammer. It's way beyond that. $600 hammers are cheap compared to what they used to be.
Exactly. Exactly. Conspiracy Theorist 17 said, thank you, brother, for giving us a place to vent and say what needs to be said. Absolutely. It's my pleasure and it's my honor to be able to do that. All right, moving on. So the U.S. is withdrawing. This is from Dave Overdex 22 as well. The U.S. is withdrawing. Oh, nice hat. I got to do the little mustache thing when that happens. The U.S. is withdrawing.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. No, but I'm the city slicker. You guys are the Cowboys.
All the more reason for you to say yeehaw.
Exactly. The U.S. is withdrawing all of its forces from Syria. Now, promises made, promises kept, Dave?
Absolutely. I mean, bringing people home and getting out of there, and obviously we don't want to put any of our men and women in our military at danger, and that's not a good place to be.
Yeah,
no doubt about that.
Exactly. Dave or James?
The United States has been in Syria since 2015, so we've been there for a decade. The Syrian government has agreed to take the lead combating terrorism within its own borders. Our at-scale presence is no longer needed. We were there as part of an anti-terrorism campaign to counter the influence of the Islamic State group. We will be pulling roughly 1,000 soldiers on a condition-based transition.
Yep, exactly. Alex?
There's a young man on this app. His name's Rumi, but he goes by XO Piano. He's in his 20s. He plays the piano on live and interacts with everyone. And as we've gone through the last couple of years, the appreciation for the life that we have in this country, I think is taken for granted on a daily basis by most of the population, because while this young man is playing the piano, the gifts and things that you guys give, in order for him to even be able to get those gifts, the hoops that he has to jump through to transfer from here to there to here to there to be able to even get it into his bank account while he's playing live on piano. The last conflict that broke out, you can literally hear machine gun fire outside of his apartment on the ground. He's several stories up, but on the ground floor, and he's taking his camera and showing us what's going on. It's time that they had some stability, and I think that peace through strength and what Trump is doing is not just in the United States, it's around the world. The man cares, and he wants an end to the chaos around the world, period. And he's proving that with every decision that he makes.
Right, exactly. Grows and Rose, thank you. Wildlife Fan, Layson Steel, Franny Dragonfly, Cameo Crazy, Pure Blood Holly Johns, thank you all for the gifts. So kind of you. So President Trump truth out yesterday, and he said that the United States trade deficit has been reduced by 78% because of the tariffs being charged to other companies and countries. It'll go into positive territory during this year for the first time in many decades. Dave, what do you make of it?
Well, it says here a selected drop from a record $1.5 billion in March of 2025 to a 29.4 billion low in October 25. It just proves that every step this guy moves, he is a true businessman. He is a true no BS plane. He wants everybody to get ahead, and we're just on that cusp of breaking through, and people are going to start feeling it. People are going to start seeing it across the board. So it's exciting to see.
It is, James.
The Trump administration attributes this reduction to tariffs, which has triggered a 304% surge in revenue. This really is a no shit Sherlock sign that tariffs work.
Did you get that one, Lisa, for the Interstateisms book? Alex?
Just like you said, every single step of the way, he is a businessman. I don't think he passes gas without planning 10 minutes ahead of time which jackass he's going to crop dust. He is absolutely one of the best that has ever sat in that seat from a business standpoint to get America back on track. And he posted 5 hours ago to add to his posts. He said, I only want Americans to vote in the elections. So that's something that I don't think we push enough on this show. We've got primaries coming up. This is midterms. We're in an election year. I don't know what's going to happen or how they're going to try to manipulate or stop us from going or whatever the case may be, but we all need to be vigilant this year and make sure that we get out and if the SAVE Act doesn't go through, he's going to make some sort of adjustment in the playbook to make sure that, there was a video that's been floating around that's like the hypocrisy, and it shows Biden handing over his ID and it shows Obama handing over his ID at the voting booths. We have to get out and we have to vote. We have to. This is more important than ever.
Yep, I would agree. Hey, Bobby just made it. Hey, Bobby, and Hitesh hits us here.
Now, damn it, Bobby, you're late.
Dog Rice 59 said, I wish I could plan for when I pass gas. Holy smokes. David Morales over on YouTube said, more arrests are imminent. 100%. I couldn't agree more. It's happening, everybody. It is time to buckle up. Make sure your tray tables and your seat backs are in their up and locked positions because we are taking off. All right, everybody. So that's it for the show today. We are going to be, we are at 112,000 likes. You guys are awesome. Incredible. All right, we're going to be signing off now on, hey, Kathleen Paschke just showed up on Facebook. Hey, Kathleen. So we're going to be signing off on YouTube and Facebook now because they, as you know, will not allow us to dance over there without penalty. So have a great day, everybody over there, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.